Welcome back to the channel. A tiny coin sitting in your pocket could be worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars. That's right. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1983 US penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that's hiding treasures and secrets most people don't even know about. Could you be holding a fortune? Stick around to find out, because this story is one for the ages. The 1983 penny is more than just loose change. It's a piece of history, minted during a transformative period for U.S. coinage. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a pivotal decision to switch the penny's composition from 95% copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. This was a cost-saving measure, as the price of copper had risen significantly. However, this change wasn't without its hiccups. In 1983, amidst this transition, something remarkable happened: errors. And not just any errors, but ones so rare and valuable that collectors today are willing to pay exorbitant sums for them. Imagine this: a penny, the most humble of coins, mistaken in its creation and transformed into a collector's dream. One such error is the infamous 1983 copper penny. While most pennies minted that year were made of zinc, a small number of copper planchets, the blank discs used to make coins, were mistakenly used. The difference is almost imperceptible to the naked eye, but the weight tells all. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, compared to the 2.5 grams of their zinc counterparts. This tiny discrepancy has monumental implications for value. Picture this: you're at home, sifting through an old jar of coins. You grab a scale and start weighing your 1983 pennies. Suddenly, one of them tips the scale at 3.11 grams. Your heart races. Could this be it? The 1983 copper penny has been known to fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction, and some experts believe the right specimen could even breach six figures. This isn't just a penny, it's a piece of numismatic history. But the copper penny isn't the only star of the 1983 lineup. Enter the double die errors. These fascinating anomalies occur during the minting process, when the die, the tool that stamps the design onto a coin, imprints the design twice, slightly offset. The result? A stunning, almost ghostly doubling effect on certain parts of the coin. On the 1983 penny, this is most often seen on the reverse side, where the words 1 cent or e pluribus unum appear duplicated. It's a subtle but unmistakable feature that sends collectors into a frenzy. A double-die penny in pristine condition can command jaw-dropping prices, sometimes reaching thousands of dollars. And let's not forget about off-center strikes and broad strikes. These errors occur when a coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. The result is a penny that looks warped or incomplete, with part of the design missing or stretched. These imperfections make the coin unique, and collectors are always on the hunt for such rare finds. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value, especially if the date and mint mark remain visible. The allure of these errors lies not only in their rarity but also in their backstory. Each misstep in the minting process tells a tale of oversight, chance, and the unpredictable nature of production. For collectors, owning such a piece is like holding a fragment of history, a tangible reminder of the human element behind the machinery. It's this blend of historical significance and rarity that makes these coins so desirable. So, how do you identify these hidden treasures? First, arm yourself with the right tools. A digital scale is essential for detecting weight anomalies, and a good magnifying glass or microscope is indispensable for spotting minute details like double die errors. Reference books and online resources can help you compare your findings to known examples. And remember, patience is key. Treasure hunting requires time, effort, and a keen eye. Start by weighing your 1983 pennies. If one tips the scale at 3.11 grams, you may have a copper penny on your hands. Next, examine the coin under magnification. Look closely at the lettering and design for any signs of doubling. Inspect the edges and overall shape for off-center strikes or broad strikes. Any anomaly could be the key to unlocking a coin's hidden value. Let's delve deeper into the tools of the trade. When it comes to identifying errors, lighting is your best friend. Use a bright, focused light source to illuminate the coin at different angles. This technique can reveal subtle irregularities that might otherwise go unnoticed. A loupe, with its high magnification and portability, is another invaluable tool. Keep one handy, whether you're exploring your collection at home or browsing through bins at a local coin shop. Once you've identified a potential treasure, it's crucial to have it authenticated. Reputable grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can evaluate your coin's authenticity and condition, assigning it a grade that significantly impacts its market value. Authentication is an investment, but it's worth it to ensure you get the best possible price if you decide to sell. Authentication also provides peace of mind. With counterfeit coins becoming increasingly sophisticated, professional verification is the gold standard for any serious collector or seller. Grading services not only confirm the coin's authenticity but also encapsulate it in a protective holder, ensuring its preservation for years to come. Now, let's talk about real-life stories that prove treasure hunting is more than a hobby, it's a legitimate way to strike it rich. In 2013, a 1983 copper penny sold at auction for over $20,000. The coin's rarity and pristine condition made it a hot commodity among collectors. And that's just one example. Across the country, ordinary people are discovering extraordinary coins in their spare change. Imagine turning a penny into thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. That could be your story next. These stories are not just anecdotal, they're a testament to the enduring appeal of coin collecting. From young enthusiasts to seasoned numismatists, the thrill of the hunt and the potential for a life-changing discovery continue to draw people into this fascinating world. And with each discovery, the numismatic community grows richer, both figuratively and literally. If you're new to coin collecting, don't worry. Getting started is easier than you might think. Begin by checking your spare change jar. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Visit coin shows and local shops to learn more and meet fellow enthusiasts. Join online communities where collectors share tips, stories, and discoveries. The world of numismatics is vast and welcoming, and there's always something new to learn. Education is a cornerstone of successful collecting. Familiarize yourself with the terminology, history, and grading standards of coins. Books, online courses, and videos are excellent resources for building your knowledge base. The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to spot valuable coins and make informed decisions. Networking is another key aspect of the hobby. Engaging with other collectors can open doors to new opportunities, whether it's a tip about an upcoming auction, an invitation to a private collection viewing, or simply the chance to share your passion with like-minded individuals. The numismatic community is as diverse as the coins themselves, encompassing people from all walks of life who share a common love for history and discovery. As we wrap up, remember this: the next time you come across a 1983 penny, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Take a closer look. It might just be the hidden treasure you've been searching for. And if you find something extraordinary, don't forget to share your story. Who knows? You might inspire the next great discovery. Before you go, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coin hunting tips and fascinating stories from the world of numismatics. And here's a fun question to ponder: what's the most expensive penny ever sold? Let us know your guesses in the comments. Until next time, happy hunting, and for those who stick around until the end, here's a bonus tip: always check the edges of your coins. On rare occasions, you might find a mule coin where the obverse and reverse don't match. These errors are exceptionally rare and can be worth a fortune. So, keep your eyes peeled and your curiosity alive. The world of coins is full of surprises, and your next discovery might just change your life. Did you know that right now, in piggy banks and coin jars across America, there are pennies worth thousands of dollars just waiting to be discovered? I'm not talking about ancient coins or rare vintage pieces, I'm talking about pennies from 1982, a year that would unknowingly produce some of the most valuable error coins in modern American history. These aren't just slightly valuable coins worth a few $100s. We're talking about specimens that have sold for tens of thousands at auction, with some of the rarest varieties potentially worth even more. And the most incredible part? They're still out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone just like you to find them. I'm David, and today, I'm going to take you on a journey that could literally change your life. I'm going to show you exactly what makes these 1982 pennies so extraordinary, how to identify the ultra-rare varieties worth a fortune, and most importantly, how you can find one of these valuable treasures in your own pocket change. But before we dive deep into the world of rare penny hunting, let me share a story that happened just 2 months ago. Mike Thompson, a retired auto mechanic from Toledo, Ohio, was sorting through his loose change jar, something he'd been meaning to do for years. As he was separating the pennies, he noticed something unusual about one of his 1,982 coins. The date looked different from the others, and the penny felt slightly heavier in his hand. That moment of curiosity led to an incredible discovery. That single penny, which had been sitting in his change jar for who knows how long, sold at auction for $18,400. And here's the kicker, Mike had almost used it to buy a coffee just days before, but Mike's story isn't unique. Over the past few years, more and more valuable 1982 penny varieties have been discovered, each one worth a small fortune. And numismatic experts believe we've only scratched the surface. There could be thousands more out there, sitting in cash registers, coin jars, and old collections across the country. 1982 wasn't just another year for the US Mint, it was a year of massive change. The price of copper had skyrocketed, making it more expensive to produce pennies than they were worth. The solution? A complete overhaul of the penny's composition, transitioning from 95% copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. But here's where things get interesting. This transition didn't happen overnight. Throughout 1982, the Mint produced both copper and zinc-based pennies. And that's not all, they also used two different sized date punches, large date and small date varieties. This perfect storm of changes created the conditions for some of the rarest and most valuable modern coins in existence. The small date copper varieties are the holy grail of 1982 pennies, particularly those minted in Denver. Why? Because they were produced in incredibly limited numbers before the transition to zinc-based coins. When you look at a small date variety, notice how the numbers in the date appear smaller and more refined compared to the large date variety. This subtle difference can mean the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and one worth thousands, but here's where it gets even more interesting. The composition change from copper to zinc created opportunities for incredible errors. Sometimes, copper blanks would accidentally get mixed in with zinc ones, creating extremely rare, transitional errors. To identify these valuable coins, you'll need a digital scale. A normal zinc-based 1982 penny should weigh exactly 2.5 grams, while a copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. This difference of about half a gram could mean the difference between an ordinary penny and one worth thousands, but weight isn't the only thing to look for. Some of the most valuable 1982 pennies have additional errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and missing elements. These errors, combined with the right date size and composition, can create coins worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let me share another remarkable story. In 2019, a bank teller in Kansas City noticed something odd about a 1982 penny in her till. The date appeared to be doubled, and when she weighed it, she discovered it was a copper penny with a small date, one of the rarest combinations possible. That coin later sold for $21,600 at auction. But here's what makes this hunt so exciting: new varieties of 1982 penny errors are still being discovered. Just when experts think they've documented every possible variation, something new appears. To hunt for these valuable pennies, you'll need a few basic tools: a digital scale accurate to 0.01 grams, a good magnifying glass with 5x to 10x magnification, good LED lighting, and a reference guide showing the difference between small and large date varieties. Start by gathering all your 1982 pennies. Look for both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark, issues. Weigh each coin carefully. Remember, 3.11 grams for copper, 2.5 grams for zinc. Any significant deviation from these weights could indicate a valuable transitional error. When examining the date size, look closely at the 2 in 1982. In the small date variety, it appears notably smaller and more refined. Pay special attention to Denver minted coins, as the 1982 D small date copper penny is one of the rarest and most valuable varieties. Here's a professional tip most collectors won't tell you: never clean your coins, even if they're dirty. Cleaning can significantly reduce their value. Handle potential valuable coins by their edges only, as the oils from your fingers can cause damage over time. And always document everything. If you think you found a valuable error, take clear, well-lit photographs from multiple angles before doing anything else. The best places to look for these valuable pennies might surprise you. Check bank rolls, especially from smaller local banks that might have older coins in circulation. Visit estate sales, particularly in areas where older residents might have collected coins. Don't forget to check Coinstar reject trays. These machines often reject valuable error coins because they don't match the expected weight and size parameters. Last week, I received an email from Sarah Chen, a viewer in California. Sarah had watched one of my videos and decided to check a jar of pennies she'd inherited from her grandmother. Using these techniques, she discovered a 1982 D penny that was not only a small date variety but also showed significant doubling on the date. After getting it authenticated by PCGS, it was valued at $12,000. Speaking of authentication, this is crucial in today's market. The values of these rare 1982 pennies have become so high that counterfeits have unfortunately entered the market. If you think you found a valuable specimen, first document it thoroughly with photographs. Then store it carefully in a soft, protective holder. Never use hard plastic flips that might damage the coin's surface. Finally, contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, grading costs money, but it's worth it. A properly authenticated rare error can be worth hundreds of times more than an ungraded specimen. Now, let me share something that most coin dealers won't tell you. The most valuable 1982 penny errors often don't look obviously wrong at first glance. That's why so many of them go unnoticed. It's the subtle details that matter. Think about that for a moment. How many 1982 pennies have you handled in your lifetime? How many might have been worth thousands? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But here's the good news: it's not too late. These valuable coins are still out there. They're waiting in coin jars, forgotten collections, and even in everyday circulation. The next great discovery could be made by anyone. Why not you? Before we wrap up, let me share one final story that perfectly illustrates why these 1982 pennies are so special. Last summer, an 11-year-old girl in Wisconsin started collecting pennies as a hobby. Her father had given her a digital scale and a magnifying glass, and she began checking every penny that came into their house. One Saturday morning, while sorting through some coins from her allowance, she found something unusual: a 1982 D penny that was heavier than the others and had a small date. Her parents almost dismissed it, but the young collector insisted on having it checked. That coin, which had been given to her as part of her weekly allowance, turned out to be worth $14,500. That's the magic of these 1982 pennies. They remind us that extraordinary discoveries can happen anywhere, at any time, to anyone. They prove that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone observant enough to notice them. So the next time someone tells you that penny hunting is a waste of time, or that all the valuable coins have already been found, just smile and keep looking. Because you now know something they don't, the hunt for these valuable 1982 pennies isn't over, it's just beginning. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on more videos about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. And leave a comment below if you plan to check your coin jar after watching this. I'd love to hear about what you find. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, patience and attention to detail are everything. Sometimes, the most valuable discoveries aren't made by experts with expensive equipment, they're made by ordinary people who simply take the time to look carefully at what others overlook. Did you know that a single penny could change your life forever? I'm not talking about good luck or making a wish at a fountain. I'm talking about cold, hard cash, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars, all from a single penny that might be sitting in your pocket right now. What makes this story even more incredible is that we're not discussing some ancient coin from centuries ago. We're talking about a penny from 1975, a coin that millions of Americans walked past, spent at stores, or tossed into tip jars without a second thought. But here's the shocking truth. Some of these pennies are so rare and valuable that they've sold for astronomical sums at auction. And the best part? There are still undiscovered specimens out there, waiting to be found. I'm Zane Devitt, and today, I'm going to show you exactly what makes these 1975 pennies so extraordinary, how to identify the ultra-rare varieties worth a fortune, and most importantly, how you can spot one of these life-changing coins. Trust me, after watching this video you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. But before we dive in, let me share something that happened just last month. A retired schoolteacher in Minnesota was cleaning out her late father's coin collection when she noticed something unusual about a 1975 penny. That single discovery led to a six-figure auction sale. And the most incredible part? Her father had no idea he was sitting on a fortune. He just thought it was an ordinary penny. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a 1975 penny so special? Well, it all comes down to timing and circumstance. You see, 1975 was a unique year in American minting history. The U.S. Mint was under tremendous pressure to produce coins rapidly due to increased demand. This rush led to some fascinating errors that would later become some of the most sought-after treasures in numismatic history. These pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that's completely different from today's pennies. But here's where it gets interesting. This specific metallic composition, combined with the high-speed minting process, created the perfect conditions for some truly spectacular minting errors. Let me show you what to look for. First, we have the legendary double die errors. These aren't just any ordinary mistakes, they're like winning the numismatic lottery. When you look at a normal 1975 penny, the letters and numbers should be crisp and clear. But on these valuable errors, you'll see something extraordinary. Look at this example. See how the date appears to have a shadow? That's not a defect, that's a double die error, and it's exactly what you want to find. Some of these double die pennies have sold for over $100,000 at auction. And here's the kicker, experts believe there are still hundreds, possibly thousands, of these valuable errors in circulation. But wait, it gets even better. The double die isn't the only valuable error from 1975. Let me introduce you to something even rarer, the off-center strike. When a penny is struck off-center, it creates an incomplete coin with a portion of the design missing. Now, you might think this makes the coin worth less, but you'd be wrong. An off-center 1975 penny with the date still visible can fetch anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000, depending on the severity of the error. But hold on to your seats, because we're about to discuss the holy grail of 1975 penny errors, the broad strike with double-clipped planchet. Only 3 confirmed examples exist, and one recently sold for, well, let me save that shocking number for later in the video. Trust me, It's worth the wait. Now, let's talk about how you can find these valuable coins. First, you'll need the right tools. Don't worry, you don't need expensive equipment to start. A simple magnifying glass, good lighting, and a digital scale accurate to 0.01 grams are all you need. Here's your step-by-step treasure hunting guide. First, check the date. Obviously, we're looking for 1975. Next, weigh the coin. A normal 1975 penny should weigh exactly 3.11 grams. Any significant deviation could indicate a valuable error, but the real magic happens under magnification. Take your magnifying glass and examine the date and letters carefully. Look for any signs of doubling, particularly in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Even the smallest double impression could mean you're holding a fortune in your hands. Now, let me share something that most coin dealers won't tell you. The most valuable 1975 penny errors often don't look obviously wrong at first glance. That's why so many of them go unnoticed. It's the subtle details that matter. Remember that broad strike with double-clipped planchet I mentioned earlier? Let me tell you its story. In 2019, a construction worker in Arizona found one while breaking open a roll of pennies from his bank. He almost spent it on coffee before noticing something slightly off about its shape. That moment of attention to detail. It made him a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. That single 1975 penny sold for $1.3 million at a private auction. Why so much? Because it combined three ultra-rare errors: the broad strike, double clip, and a double die obverse. It's considered the holy grail of modern error coins, but here's what makes this even more exciting: experts believe there could be more out there. Think about it, how many pennies have you handled without really looking at them? How many coins are sitting in old piggy banks, coin jars, or forgotten collections? Let me show you exactly where to look. Start with your own coin jar, but don't just dump it out and look quickly. You need a systematic approach. I'm going to share a method that professional coin hunters use to maximize their chances of finding these valuable errors. First, sort your pennies by decade, then by year. Once you've isolated your 1975 pennies, examine each one under bright, direct light. Tilt the coin at various angles. This is crucial for spotting double die errors. Look for any irregularities in the rim, any signs of off-center strikes, or unusual shapes that might indicate clipping errors, but don't stop with your own coins. Here are some prime hunting grounds that most people overlook: estate sales, particularly in areas where older residents might have collected coins; bank rolls, especially from smaller local banks that might have older coins in circulation; and believe it or not, Coinstar reject trays. These machines often reject valuable error coins because they don't match the expected weight and size parameters. Now, let me share something truly exciting. Just last week, I received an email from a viewer who followed the techniques I'm showing you today. She found a 1975 penny with significant doubling on the date and Liberty. After getting it authenticated by PCGS, it was valued at $85,000. And she found it in her grandmother's old penny jar. But before you run off to check your coins, there's one more crucial piece of information you need to know. Authentication is absolutely essential. The market is unfortunately filled with counterfeits, and you need to know how to protect yourself. I'm going to show you the exact steps to take if you think you found a valuable error. First, document your find with clear, well-lit photographs from multiple angles. Next, carefully store the coin in a soft, protective holder. Never clean it or handle it with bare hands. Then, contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, grading costs money, but it's worth it. A properly authenticated rare error can be worth hundreds of times more than an ungraded specimen. Now, remember that broad strike with double-clipped planchet I mentioned earlier? The one that sold for $1.3 million. Well, here's the most incredible part of that story. the construction worker who found it initially thought it was damaged and almost threw it away. It wasn't until he watched a video similar to this one that he realized what he had, and that's exactly why I'm sharing this information with you today. Right now, somewhere out there, another $1 million 1975 penny is waiting to be discovered. It could be in your pocket, your coin jar, or even in a handful of change you'll get from your next purchase. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with one final thought. The world of coin collecting is full of amazing stories, ordinary people making extraordinary discoveries. But here's what makes the 1975 penny so special: unlike many valuable coins that were rare from the day they were minted, these errors survived decades of circulation, passing through countless hands, just waiting for someone observant enough to notice them. Could you be the next person to make a life-changing discovery? There's only one way to find out. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on more videos about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. And leave a comment below if you plan to check your coin jar after watching this. I'd love to hear about what you find. Remember, the next time someone tells you pennies aren't worth anything, just smile and keep looking. Because you now know the secret that most people don't: sometimes, the most valuable treasures are the ones hiding right in plain sight.